Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning into an absolutely massive battle in Rome 2 Total War. This is a 2 vs 2 siege, and it was a subscribers battle replay submitted by General Spiffington, so I hope you guys do enjoy, and without further ado, let's take a look at these army comps. The first attacking army in today's battle is Egypt, commanded by General Spiffington, and I really love the variety of his army. He's got a ton of different units. We're going to take a look at his army in greater detail here. So he's got his general's bodyguard here, the Ptolemaic cavalry, and he's got a unit of African war elephants here as well. Very, very solid units, especially in Rome 2. I find they do a lot of damage. And he's got some really elite infantry here, held back in reserve, the Galatian Royal Guard. He has 8 units of them. And then he's got a mix for his archers. He's got some mercenary Cretan archers here, 2 units. Then he's got some Nubian bowmen as well, 2 units. And then he has a unit of Peltis here. I love Peltis. They're probably one of my favorite units in the game because they're so versatile. They do so much damage to heavy infantry with their javelins or their Peltis. And then they can basically charge in as an infantry unit and hold the line very, very well. And he has 1 unit of those Peltis, but he's also got a unit of Royal Peltis here on the tower. And then it's a bit of a mix. He's got a couple units of Thorax Swordsmen here. You can see we've got some Scythe Chariots actually in the background. A Greek Onager. We've got 1 unit of Pikemen and some Egyptian Cavalry. And then pretty much the rest on these towers is all just Egyptian infantry. Very cheap infantry, but he's quite smart by putting them on the towers so that they kind of soak up most of the most of the defending archers' ammo. And hopefully the Galatian Royal Guard should be able to move up onto the walls and not be pelted to death. He also has a unit of Nubian spearmen on this ram as well. And then way over here, he has a small detachment that is going to be going across this bridge. I'm not sure on this map if you can pass through the water, but I'm not sure how the towers are going to fare going across this bridge. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, he's got a few units of Thorax Swordsmen over here, another very elite unit. And he has another Greek Heavy Onager, some Egyptian archers over on this flank, and some citizen cavalry. And that is it for General Spiffington's force. So let's go ahead and take a look at his ally. The second attacking army on the battlefield today is Rome, commanded by Noah.mck, and he's brought a lot of heavy infantry. Again, that's what the Roman Empire was known for. And he's got a good mix of infantry too, not just going with 1 unit. He has 5 units of armored legionaries on the towers, and then he has 5 units of just regular legionaries. And then way over here, he's actually got a few units of legionary cohort, I believe 4 units of them. And then on foot, right behind the towers, we've got 3 units of Triarii. And then we've got another unit of armored legionaries. We have some Praetorian Guard. He's brought 3 units of them. Very, very solid infantry unit. Then he has a Roman Heavy Onager. And he's got a good mix for his ranged forces as well. He's brought some auxiliary Balearic Slingers. He's got some auxiliary Syrian archers, and then the rest are Velites. I think he has 4 units of them, or 5. Looks like 5 units. We've got the general and bodyguard over here, with some Soci Equite Extraordinari, another Roman Heavy Onager, some auxiliary African elephants, and some legionary cavalry. And that is it for the attacking forces, so let's go ahead and take a look at the defenders. The 2 defending armies on the battlefield today are Sparta, commanded by Swift Ash Wolf, and the Seleucids, commanded by Unclutch. And for some reason, it seems that there's like a fog of war over the settlement, so I can't really see the army comps for the defending forces. I'm not sure if that was always the case, or if maybe I just always uploaded siege battles where the defender sent me the replay so they could have full view of the attackers plus their own army comps. But we'll just kind of look at both of the armies together because I really actually can't see very much of them at all. I had to wait for some of the siege towers to get closer just to even get some view of some of the units. But Sparta here, he's bringing some Perioikoi spears, a couple units of them, and he's brought a lot of Spartan hoplites from when I looked at the army comps. A very, very solid unit for holding the line, so good to see he's got them at the gates here. And he also has some units over here. He's got more Spartan hoplites. We've also got some of the Royal Spartans as well. These guys look amazing. There is a mod that I'll have to look for. I know Lionheart X10 used it in his Sparta Let's Play like years and years ago. And they actually just redid all of the Spartan units and they looked amazing. So maybe I can consider using that mod in the future. But we've got some more hoplites here. He's also brought some Helot archers, which are basically slaves, funnily enough. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but the Helots were treated very poorly by the Spartans. And every year, I think they had a massacre of the Helots just to keep them in line. So, yeah, I'm sure they're not happy to be fighting on the battlefield today. And we could see only a few units from the Seleucids. We've got some thorax swordsmen here. Again, a very solid unit. And I think that's basically it. So most of the Seleucid forces must be right behind this wall, but we won't get a view of them until we actually have the Roman towers getting to the walls themselves. And then we should be able to look into the city and take a look at the army comps a little bit more. But, I mean, we've mostly seen these units before. There's no new units on the battlefield today. So without further ado, guys, let's get to this battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and as you can see, we have the Romans pushing up pretty much uncontested onto these walls, and they have a lot of towers, so they have basically taken this entire wall without losing any forces whatsoever. Now granted, the towers will probably get a few kills, but it looks like the Spartans and the Seleucids are content to hold just the openings for the walls instead of the walls themselves, which I think is probably a smart idea considering the fact that each attacking player had 2 large Greek onagers, so it would have been quite a risk to put all of their heavy hoplites on the walls just for them to be lost to the walls crumbling down. So holding these choke points is definitely a solid option. But now the Romans have a good foothold into the city where they will be able to push forth more troops. And once we get the Triarii and the Praetorian Guard up here, they should be able to force through these gaps with not too much trouble. These will be difficult, though. The Spartan Pikeman Royal Spartan combo, that is a nasty combo. That's going to be very difficult. We've also got some more of the Helot archers here just firing up onto the wall. And it does look like we have some thorax swordsmen over here that have pushed up to delay some of the Romans. This is a bit of a risk, though, considering that there are Romans right on the other side. So one of these units could just push over and flank the thorax swordsmen. We also have some more Helot archers over here as well, so trying to get some good angles to fire down. We've got some thorax swordsmen here as well. But yeah, the Romans, again, pretty much up on these walls uncontested. Okay, we do have some more thorax swordsmen over on this flank as well, though. Let's actually zoom in and see a bit of this fight here. The Roman player is going to have to be very careful, though, because I still hear the Roman onager firing onto these walls, and if he brings down one of the walls, the chances of him bringing down a full unit of Roman legionaries is quite high. Oh, some big hits there. Greek sword versus Roman sword. So we've got a little bit of fighting there, not too much though. And what do we have going on the other side here? So General Spiffington has also pushed up to the walls. I see, very, very well done. Good coordination between the 2 attackers, attacking at exactly the same time. He is trying to capture this gate, I believe, with the Egyptian infantry, but there is just too many Spartans within the area of capture to allow that. We've also got some Nubian spearmen pushing up with the ram to bring down the gate. I believe these gates do have fire damage, though, with the burning oil, so they're going to have to be careful charging a lot of their units into the gap like that. We also have some Egyptian infantry fighting the thorax swordsmen from the Greeks. The Egyptian infantry, though, not really that good of a unit, to be honest. Even triple gold chevroning them, they still kind of get cut down. Oh, yes, there we go. Yeah, where Ptolemaic forces drew a lot of their power was from the Greek units and also the Galatians, like the Galatian Royal Guard. But the Egyptian units themselves, I mean, the Egyptian pikemen are pretty solid in this game, but there we go. Well done by General Spiffington, getting a awesome flank on this unit of thorax swordsmen. Now, he is pushing up more of these thorax swordsmen, but they are completely surrounded at this point. The only way to get down is back whence they came from, this little tower entrance here. And, I mean, they're pretty well protected. I'm not sure if the Nubian infantry are going to move forwards into this gate or not, or if maybe General Spiffington's going to set up some archers and fire into the gap. That would be a very solid choice. Looks like we've got another nasty defense here with some stones, and we've got some silver shield pikemen, very, very elite pikes, and a thorax swordsman unit. This is a very effective strategy in Rome 2 to put a unit of infantry mixed in with a unit of pikemen, especially a unit of infantry with good melee defense, because once the pikemen kind of get separated a little bit and the enemy is able to get within the pikes, they kind of get cut down pretty quickly. But if you have a unit of solid swords or spears in the mix, then they tend to last for much longer. I'm still interested to see what this flank is going to do, but it doesn't look like anything yet. Let's move over here where we've actually got some Roman legionaries wavering here. Wonder why that is. I think it's these helot archers that are getting a awesome shot into the backs of these Roman legionaries. You can just see the amount of dead on the ground here. The thorax swordsmen holding back as we've got more legionaries charging up the towers. And it looks like the thorax swordsmen's backs are actually to the end of the wall itself. So yeah, they are kind of surrounded at this point. We've got more fire coming in. Where is he firing at? He's kind of getting a bit of friendly fire here, hitting some of the legionary cohort. I think he is using explosive round, and he's trying to go for this wall over here. That's what he's firing at. He will lose this unit of legionary cohort, but they are somewhat depleted, and this whole unit of thorax swordsmen will be gone as well. What do we got? 87%. Does he still have ammo in the heavy onager? Assuming he does. Also, this unit of perioikoi spears right behind the wall, they may actually take some casualties if this wall does come down. Okay, that tower is down. Oh, yes, and some huge kills on this Spartan hoplite unit here from the tower coming down. That is tough to see. More fire. What are they firing at now? Are they going for this opposite wall? Yeah, I think they are trying to hit this wall, but they're not really doing too much damage to it, to be honest. And I don't want to sit here for too long, but I'm kind of interested to see if this wall actually does come down. We've got this heavy onager here. We've also got the heavy onager over here as well. If he brought this wall down, that would be a huge, huge help to the Romans, because they would be able to outflank all of these Spartan units that are holding strategic choke points on the walls themselves. So that would be very good indeed. These thorax swordsmen on this broken wall. Look how haphazard that would be. I would not want to be in this position right now, trying to fight the Romans on this wall that's just basically ready to crumble at any minute. You can see the Triarii are actually coming off the towers now. So we've got some of the Roman elites on the walls. How are we doing on the Egyptian side of things? Yeah, so the Egyptian infantry unfortunately being cut down. I didn't really expect anything different, to be honest. The Egyptian infantry, again, are quite cheap. They're mostly fodder infantry, but I mean, they still managed to take down a decent amount of these thorax swordsmen. It's quite impressive. Or Spartan hoplites just holding, waiting for the go-ahead to move in to engage the Egyptians. And over here, again, armored legionaries getting cut down by excellent flanking fire from those helot archers. And as they try to retreat, the thorax swordsmen are going to cut them down. There's one. There's a couple that got away. They're like, I'm out of here. These are armored legionaries as well, so they are an elite unit. Oh, is this guy dead? Oh, knee to the stomach. There we go. He got him eventually. Oh, but what's this? It looks like we've got some Galatian Royal Guard from the Egyptians up on this choke point here. Well, it's not really a choke point. It's, well, I mean, yeah, walls are kind of choke pointy. But this unit of thorax swordsmen, they're steady, but they're winded. They've already fought the Romans in melee, and now they're going to have to contend with the Galatian Royal Guard. So this unit is probably not going to be able to win alone. We've also got some more units just setting up to move in. The Scythe chariots are going to be just absolutely devastating if he uses them properly. And we've got some more of the Galatian Royal Guard, basically just pushing up to the walls. And again, nothing going on this flank. I'm wondering if you just can't pass, like, towers over that bridge. So he hasn't really decided what he wants to do with that yet. And it looks like we got the Velites taking fire. I believe actually from the towers. It looks like they were standing here trying to fire up over the walls. But, I mean, the attackers are in a bit of a tough position right now, because, I mean, they did conquer the walls, but they're not really making any headway. You can see the Romans are finally starting to push down here. We've got the Triarii, which are battling it out with the Spartan hoplites. These are both very elite spear units, so it'll be interesting to see which one comes out on top. I think that it looks like some of the units are actually trying to push through the formation themselves, but they just end up being cut down by the hoplites that are in reserve. But more and more Roman units coming down off the towers. Looks like we got some armored legionaries as well. Now, are these ones that have broken? Legionary cohort? No, they are fresh. So it looks like we got some Triarii and Legionary cohort. And look at how effectively they're breaking up this formation here. Doing really well against the Spartan hoplites. I think they may actually need a bit of reinforcements over here. I mean, we've got a lot of units over on this flank. We've got Spartan hoplites, Spartan pikemen, and a hero of Sparta. So maybe bringing one of the heroes of Sparta over here to help out against this hoplite unit, because it's just being pulled out of position. I think they're trying to readjust, but now they've got Romans behind, so that's not going to be good for the defenders. There we go. Yes, it looks like we do have a unit of Spartan pikemen moving in. So good battlefield awareness there, realizing where he needs to move troops. Looks like we did have a fight here. As soon as the Romans are coming off this tower, they're being slaughtered by the pikemen. You can see just the amount of dead Romans over here. And over here, not anything just yet. The support of the Helot archers over here has really given the defenders the edge. But over here, well done to General Spiffington here as the attacking Egyptians. He's got his Nubian bowmen that are firing in the flank at the Syrian heavy archers. This is a very elite unit. They can get a ton of kills if you're not careful. I love it when they still fight with a few arrows in them. This guy's got... He had an arrow in his shoulder there. He's still standing. Actually, quite a few of them have an arrow in their shoulder. Does this guy have it in his head? No, no. Oh, there goes. He's got one in his arm, one in his shoulder now. And just look at the carnage on these walls already. That is a lot of Egyptian infantry. What do we got fighting over here? We've got some of the thorax swordsmen again trying to hold back the Galatian Royal Guard. But it looks like the Galatian Royal Guard over here has been pretty victorious. Just kind of cutting down the remaining couple of thorax swordsman units. And there's the, I think that's the standard bearer for the thorax swordsman unit. So I'm not sure if he's going to get cut down very soon. But yeah, I don't even see a unit card for that Thorax Swordsman unit, so it must have broken. And here we go. Looks like we got some Syrian heavy archers moving up here. I'm not sure if he realizes that he's charged them right into the Royal Peltis, though. The Royal Peltis, I'm not sure if they used up all their ammo. I didn't really watch to see where they were firing at. I think they probably did get a few kills over here on this unit of Perioikoi spears, but that isn't a really high-value target, those spears. I would rather have them gone for some pike units or even the heroes of Sparta. But this battered unit of Spartan hoplites is still holding here, and I guess they ran out of ammo. They weren't able to take down these two sections of the wall. So, looks like the Seleucid player is confident. He's sending up another fresh unit of Thorax Swordsmen to hold back the legionary cohort in melee. Just holding them on the wall. We've also got some velites that have broken over here. Oh no, yes, so the Romans are fighting the heroes of Sparta, but they've got their backs turned, and the Helot archers are actually firing at the backs of this Roman triarii. Oh my goodness, just disgusting volleys. And there we go, a huge charge by the Perioikoi spears, sandwiching this Roman unit. Now the triarii has a lot of morale, but I guess it didn't save them in this battle. Yeah, usually they're like almost unbreakable, the triarii, so well done to the defenders there. Just broke them. A couple volleys to the Helot archers and a charge from those cheap spears, and that elite unit is off the battlefield. So yeah, Rome, he's playing smart though. He's got all of his archers up here on the walls. He's got his Balearic slingers here as well. Hopefully he's focusing high priority targets like these Spartan pikemen. The hoplites I wouldn't really bother firing at because they've got a lot of armor, but the pikes for sure. They need to get rid of the pikemen. I think Egypt brought one unit of pikemen, and Rome doesn't have any pikes at all, so that's one of their disadvantages. Still fighting for these walls, though. It looks like Sparta is just content to hold down here, though. They're not really interested in moving up onto the walls and taking on the Galatian Royal Guard and the Thorax Swordsmen. Probably could break these Nubian Spearmen pretty easily. That is a very cool unit, though. Just look at the sea of Spartans here. There we go. Looks like we got some of the Syrian archers from the Seleucids have broken. And fighting for the streets is getting a little more intense now. The Galatian Royal Guard actually coming down here and shattering the Perioikoi spears, coming right through the gap. But the Spartan player bringing some Royal Spartans in. They should do quite well in holding the Galatian Royal Guard in melee. They're also triple gold chevron. So they are probably unbreakable at this point. Famous last words, though. I thought that the triarii would have held a little bit longer in melee. There we go, slaughtering some of the remaining Syrian archer units there. Oh my goodness, just no mercy. No mercy at all. Yeah, that is a lot of Galatians coming in through the gap. I would capitalize on this, though, if he has any more infantry. He really doesn't, but maybe getting the cavalry in here. Get them in, get them running through the streets, causing some mayhem. You can see we've got some archers over here that are a little bit exposed. We can even get some good charges on these holding points so that the Romans are able to move off the walls. But it looks like we do have a few units that are attacking the Royal Spartans in melee. The Galatian Royal Guard, smartly by General Spiffington, he was trying to pull them back and use a couple of Pila throws on the Royal Spartans. But the Spartans pushed into melee. They're not going to have that. So this is a pretty close battle. There's a lot of fighting for the walls themselves, but both sides are taking pretty heavy casualties. Oh, little bit of lag there. This is a very large battle, guys, so it can get a bit framey at times. There we go. If I put it to slow motion, does that make it a little bit better? Yeah, just for a bit. I think there's a lot of units that are moving right now. Oh no! Are these broken? Okay, I was like, did he lose his sliced chariots already? But no, it looks like they're just pulling back for now. We've got another unit of Galatian Royal Guard that is challenging these Spartan Royal Hoplites in melee, or just regular Spartan Hoplites. But I don't think they're taking any casualties because they've neutralized the gate. Yes, oh, well done. So he is able to push his swords into melee without taking any casualties there. Looks like we've got some of the Nubian spearmen coming off the walls now. Probably not going to do too much damage, to be honest. It's a pretty cheap unit. They're lightly armored. They're not going to do too well against the heavy Spartans. But the Romans, they're collecting themselves here, but what I'm seeing is that there's not too much heavy infantry left over here. I mean, he has like 4 to 5 units. But we've also got the Praetorian Guard waiting outside the city, but that's pretty much it. Like, everything has been sent to the walls at this point. So we'll have to see how this goes. I mean, we've got some legionary cohort and a fresh unit of Triarii fighting the heroes of Sparta down here. They've lost 30 men already. We've got some Perioikoi spears, but they are going to be slaughtered by the Romans. Let's try and get zoom in on some of the Perioikois fighting the heavy Roman legionaries. Hold. We've also got the pikemen right behind. I would actually push these pikemen in a little bit further so that they're actually in melee. And these Helot archers are just getting slaughtered by the Romans. You can see just the heads of the auxiliary Syrian archers up on the hilltop there. I think some of the Spartan hoplites were sent up on the walls to silence these Syrian heavy archers, which is an excellent play by the Spartan player because there is no infantry anywhere nearby. I would actually capitalize on that, to be honest. Over here, the armored legionaries are kind of holding this section of the wall, so they're pretty safe from this side. But yeah, I would maybe move up and try and just slaughter all of these archers before they get too many kills on the backs of the hoplites. Over here now, the heroes of Sparta. I believe this is the triple gold chevron one. Completely surrounded at this point by the Galatians. On both sides, this is going to be a very tough fight for them. It'd be cool. I haven't played as Sparta in quite some time, but I can't remember if they actually do this, and if they do, that's great, but I feel like a lot of the Spartan hoplite units should be able to form a square formation. Like the heroes of Sparta, if they're surrounded, just to form a square, then they can hold on all sides. I love the red cloaks on these guys. Just epic. Got a Spartan over here fighting like 3 of them in melee. Nice job there, getting a kill on a Galatian. But yeah, I think just superior positioning by the attackers here. I'm seeing a lot of outflanking by the attackers. The defenders are slowly losing manpower at this point. And look at this. Well done. General Spiffington breaking through here with his Galatian Royal Guard, basically walking right through. And we've also got the Nubian bowmen firing at the flank of the Spartan hoplites over here as well. Yeah, right into the sides. I would actually maybe just wait with those Nubian bowmen, hold my ammo, and I would use this unit of Galatian Royal Guard over here to maybe outflank them. But again, a lot of Syrian heavy archers undefended over here, and it looks like the Galatian Royal Guard is going to move into melee against them. The only thing that is defending them is this tower, though, which is still held by the Seleucids. They do stand to get quite a few kills if you're not careful, but just disrupting this formation here. Well done. And again, not anything going on over here. I think that they're there isn't any way to attack this position with the towers themselves. Although, no, he could actually come over here. Because I didn't notice this dry riverbed before, so maybe he could go up here and put it in. But maybe he's just saving it for now. It's possible he's keeping them here to keep the defenders on edge and make them have to put units over on this wall instead of sending it over to other areas of the battlefield. But I'm very interested to see how this turns out, because it says there's 34 minutes left in the battle, and I would expect there to be maybe only 15 or 20. I mean, we've got the Galatians running rampant through the city here. They've pretty much conquered the walls successfully on this side. I would withdraw these Spartans at this point. There's no sense in holding the walls. Maybe make this Royal Spartan unit to block off this roadway, because the Spartans are making some decent headway against the Romans here. So maybe not giving up this choke point right away. Trying to get a few more kills over here while holding the Egyptians off. But at this point, just holding the walls like this, this unit of Spartan hoplites is just going to get annihilated. Especially if the Galatian Royal Guard is using their Pila, which it looks like they are. Hitting the flank of these Spartan units. Yeah, so we need to get those Spartans back to the town center. We need to form a second line of defense here. So I think... Which one is the... Oh, this is the main town center. Okay, I thought this one was over here. But again, they don't want to give up these valuable choke points here with all of these stones. Like, I would get a pike unit and sword unit right here as well. This will be very difficult for the attacking forces to break through. But just looking at the rest of the Seleucid forces, because we didn't really see most of them in the army comp. He's got some thorax swordsmen here. He did bring a lot of these Syrian heavy archers. Looks like he has some thorax pikemen and some silver shield pikemen as well. We saw them. And he also has a lot of thorax swordsman units. We've seen them fighting over on the walls. And we've got some royal peltis here as well. Careful that he doesn't waste all his ammo, though, because this is not a good position. Galatian Royal Guard tucked right in behind a building, so the Royal Peltis will not be able to get a good shot there. It's possible he doesn't notice that they're on fire at will, but that'll be really too bad if they don't save their Pila, because the Pila is where they can get a ton of kills. And here we go. Yeah, so this unit was that unit completely annihilated? Yeah, it looks like it was. So that's kind of too bad. But the Egyptians are moving into the second phase, and at this point I would say that the Spartans should probably withdraw. It looks like they pulled back some of their Helot archers, and we do have a unit of thorax swordsmen here holding back 3 units of Roman legionaries, well, 2 units of the legionaries and 1 unit of Triarii. So very brave here, allowing these battered units to actually escape the battlefield. And Roman has finally conquered the walls, but at a very, very bloody cost. Looks like we've got some Seleucids over here, Hellenic cataphracts. I did not notice that this unit was out here. Has it gotten any kills, I wonder? I mean, it says 93 kills, my goodness, so I must have missed this. I don't know what it was running after, to be honest. Apologies for missing that, guys. Yeah, we've also got a unit of Agima cavalry, but 232 kills. Oh my goodness. And actually, it is going for the Praetorian Guard now, which is held in a attacking testudo, but they are in a diamond formation, or wedge, I believe. So yeah, this is going to be a really disgusting charge. Oh my goodness. A very valuable unit to be losing as well. I hope that these other 2 units see this and get into melee, but I'm assuming the Hellenic cataphracts, they went and neutralized the catapult crews, because we've got this one destroyed. The Roman elephants are still alive and well, but I'm assuming this unit of Agima cavalry was probably harassing the Egyptians. Seeing some Spartan units over here. It looks like they may have moved outside the city walls. Just looking across the battlefield for any signs of a battle. But yeah, clearly they have done some work. That's absolutely amazing. There we go. In that charge, they killed 14 Praetorians. This unit is exhausted, though. He might want to rest them for now. Maybe go and get a couple more kills on that Roman heavy onager. Looks like they are starting to form up a secondary position. And we've got the Peltis over here fighting against the Thorax Swordsmen, but they are quite depleted, and the Thorax Swordsmen are actually just ripping them down. We've got the Nubian Bowman over here as well, though, which is excellent. Look at this guy. How unlucky is that guy right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pila in him. I think the Thorax Swordsmen may have used up all of their ammunition now. I would just charge this unit of Peltis, to be honest. They're pretty broken as it is. I mean, the balance of power still says that it's just in favor of the attacking forces, but again, another huge hit on the Praetorian Guard here. And this is a very elite unit. The Hellenic Cataphracts are super heavy shock cavalry. They're not heavy shock cavalry. They are super heavy shock cavalry. Once you get the charge, though, when you knock them down, this isn't Attila. I would advise that they pull out, because once the Hellenic Cataphracts are in melee against the Praetorian Guard, as you can see, are starting to tear them down. So yeah, he needs to get them out of melee as quickly as possible. Hopefully they don't break, so that he can get another charge there. But yeah, we've also got the Ajima Cavalry coming over here with 232 kills. Absolutely amazing. So, apologies for missing that, guys. I don't really know exactly what they were going for, to be honest. Because I don't see, really... There's no casualties on the Egyptian Cavalry. I'm wondering where the... Oh, so he's... No, he's got one of the Greek heavy onagers. I wonder where his other one went. But here we go. It looks like we are moving on this side as well. And it does look like they can come across the bridge. So that's very cool indeed. Got some more Egyptian heavy infantry moving across. We got some of the Ptolemaic cavalry as well. I'm not sure if that Greek heavy onager is going to be able to move across the bridge, though. Maybe one at a time it will be able to, but it's hard to say. Yeah, with these towers moving to the walls, I think he had 4 units of Thorax Swordsmen on here, so that's a pretty solid unit. And looks like we do have some war elephants from the Seleucids, and it looks like they also have some scythe chariots as well as the Egyptians, so I'm going to try and keep a quick eye on that. But yeah, it looks like the Romans and Egyptians are kind of tag-teaming the Royal Spartans here. They're quickly trying to withdraw across these stones. It is going to slow them down, I believe, so the Romans might be able to get a few more kills. But here we go! The Seleucid elephants just coming into view here, and I'm glad I did not miss this. Oh, I hope he charges into this unit. Here we go! Oh, that one actually ran past there. There we go. Yeah, just running right through, barely even slowing down. And they are just going right into all of these Balearic slingers and Syrian archers here. That is a good target to silence. They're going to need to be very careful, though, because I believe they have captured the gates. So now these towers will be firing for the Romans. And fire arrows do not go well with the Syrian armored war elephants. Oh, yeah, and a good volley from the Syrian archers into the elephants. So actually, this might not be a good position for them at all. Just charging right through them, though. Oh, my goodness. Look at the death and destruction they cause. I shouldn't be surprised because I've seen it before, but it's just... I wouldn't even bother trying to charge these swords in. I would be getting them up onto the walls where they're safe. I'm not sure if they're berserk or not, because they're kind of just going every which way. No, it doesn't look like it. Look at this, already up past 300 kills. Wow. Wow. I hope that they are able to get over to this side and just slam it to the Egyptians. I'm not rooting for either side, but like this would be a nice juicy target here. Some more of the heavy infantry. Over here, how's things going? Oh no! So as you can see, the Nubian bowmen, I believe, over here, and also the mercenary Cretan archers ripping the silver shield pikemen down. And they have 0 kills. They're actually getting hit from the flank and almost from behind as well. So well done to General Spiffington, not even engaging. Don't even bother charging these pikes with your heavy infantry. Just save some of your ammunition or save some of your archers for later. And this is a very valuable 2 units that the Seleucids could have definitely used. And looks like we do have the generals over here as well. Looks like some more Royal Peltis are being committed to the fight. We do have the Thorax Swordsmen fighting the Galatian Royal Guard in melee, but it looks like the Seleucids are winning that battle. Over here we've got the Spartans who have committed to the walls along with the Thorax Swordsmen of the Seleucids against the Thorax Swordsmen of the Egyptians. So this is really not a good fight for the Egyptians. They're pressed up against the wall. They're completely surrounded. So these units may be lost. I'm not sure if he's even getting a foothold here because we've got some of the Royal Spartans up here on this section. And both these units of Royal Thorax Swordsmen, or just Thorax Swordsmen, are getting pretty banged up by the Seleucids. So he might not even be able to utilize these units if their infantry is defeated on the walls. Now, I'm assuming that the elephants are they dead? Where did they go? Or did he pull them back? They might be dead. We do have the Praetorian Guard coming in here. They might not be dead, though. They could just be hidden inside the city. Might have pulled them back, but I'll try and keep my eyes on that. And look at this. We've got the Romans bringing in their elephants now. The 2 units of cavalry here, unfortunately, they will not be able to get any flanking shots on, like flanking charges on the attackers because they've captured both the gates. Although there is a choke point here, so they may be able to move around and get into the city that way. But over here as well, enough zooming out. Let's see what else is going on the battlefield. Thorax Swordsman being broken. Oh, over his shield. Well done, but now these Royal Galatians, they're kind of just stuck in these stones. It's going to take them quite some time to get through. Hopefully that will allow the Seleucids to get some good shots off with their remaining Syrian heavy archers. But yeah, this is just a disaster over here for the Egyptians, losing this entire flank, and that's going to allow the defenders to bring some much-needed reinforcements to the front lines. So if the defenders do hang on to this gate, they could also bring their cavalry in from this side, but that would be, I think that would be much farther to go for that gate instead of just coming around. However, I think they still hold control of this gate, actually, so yeah, they could sneak around over there. Now, these Romans here, I'm not sure if they're bugged out or not. They won't be able to use this tower entrance, I believe, because the tower is destroyed. But they should be able to just walk along and come down on this section of the wall. Oh, and here we go. It looks like we do have some fighting in melee here. This is the problem for the defenders, though, is that they can't just sit here because the Galatian Royal Guard is just throwing all their pila into the Royal Peltis and the Thorax Swordsman. Oh my goodness, just getting annihilated, this unit. Look at all the pila they're trying to soak up in their shields. Yeah, they are out of here. And now this next unit is going to be under fire. However, we do have these Syrian archers here, which is excellent. 20 minutes left in this battle, and now it looks like the balance of power has moved over to the side of the defenders. General Spiffington again lining up his Galatian Royal Guard to throw their Pila onto the Royal Peltis. Now the Royal Peltis, they do have a lot of armor, 90 armor, more than the Galatian Royal Guard do. Base morale is 70, 71. So I mean, this is a very valuable unit. Ooh, where's that shower coming from? I think we've got some of the mercenary Cretan archers firing all the way over those buildings and then hitting them from above. That is disgusting. I gotta keep an eye on those elephants, though. Where'd those elephants go? Yeah, they're just sitting over here for now. Just waiting to see. I would love to get those scythe chariots over around here somewhere and hit the Praetorian Guard. That would just rip them apart. And okay, so it looks like the mercenary Syrian armored war elephants are still alive. They only lost 4, which is excellent. They're super heavy elephants. I believe these are like medium elephants. No, they're heavy elephants. Okay. But yeah, the Spartan and Seleucid alliance here is struggling a little bit, I think. They're running out of forces to put to the front lines. And here we go. Are we going to have a nice charge here from the Galatian Royal Guard? Kind of. That was pretty slow. Oh, and I just saw one of the helots there get slaughtered. Just skewered on the sword. Yeah, the Royal Peltis will hold, but they won't hold for long, especially being showered from above by the mercenary Cretan archers. These archers are too close, though, too. They need to be pulled back, I think. There's no sense in firing on these units while they're engaged in melee. They're not really going to get many kills. And it looks like the Galatian Royal Guard went on headhunt, so that's going to increase their attack and morale while decreasing their defense. I think that is a good choice to use it on the Royal Peltis like that. And yes, completely ripped apart the thorax swordsmen on these walls. And look at this, we do have the Agima cavalry inside the settlement now. I don't know where the other one went. I think it's right behind. Yes, the Hellenic cataphracts here. So 131 and 262. I think they're going for this unit of Galatian Royal Guard. That would be a solid shout. But yeah, General Spiffington is in a bit of trouble now. I would get these 2 units of cavalry around and bring them through the choke point. He needs to do that quickly, though. He's just losing these Egyptian archers. There's not really any point in keeping them on this side any longer. Now, where is those elephants? I've got to keep an eye on them. They're kind of being held for the final battle, I think. And they're not holding this over here. So I guess I was right in my first assumption that this is the main town center. Looks like they did have some kind of barricade set up. But here we go. The Royal Spartans from that wall fight on the far back of the settlement have arrived. So we've got Royal Spartans, both triple gold chevrons. But now we've got the Roman Praetorian Guard coming in here as well. So this is going to be a tough fight. Oh, hold, Sparta, hold. Focusing down the Praetorian Guard with the remaining archers from the Seleucids, the heavy archers. And what do we got going on over here? They're actually not even engaging over here. That is a smart decision for these attackers. A Royal Spartan Thorac Pikeman mix would just be suicide. Again, he can't really use his elephants over here as well. And what do we got on this side? Thorac Pikemen and Spartan Hoplites. I mean, he could try and come over this way because the Pikemen don't actually have their pikes out. Try and get a little sneaky attack there. But we do have the Egyptian cavalry in here now. I believe that was from over on this section. But General Spiffington looks like he hasn't even used his African war elephants yet. He's taken 6 casualties, but they have 0 kills. Oh, it's because of the caltrops. Yeah, there's caltrops here, so they're actually slaughtering these elephants. Oh, that is too bad. But I mean, they should still be eager and fresh, so you know, he could charge right through this line here, maybe go after the generals, see if you can get a general kill. But Egypt is fighting over here in melee, and this is a very good matchup for Egypt, having the pikeman unit fighting the royal peltas. But this is what I'm saying. You can see how these units kind of break through the pike formation, and now some of them are forced to drop their pikes and fight in melee. And if he had a unit of Galatian Royal Guard mixed in with that, they probably would have lasted a little bit longer. Wow, and those pikemen were just shattered. That was a disgusting volley. More Galatian Royal Guard, Nubian Spearmen. Yeah, so if he had moved up this Galatian Royal Guard and put them into melee as well, I think the pikemen would have done much better. But here we go. We've got the Scythe Chariots on the move. And the Thorax Swordsmen have actually made the African elephants go berserk, but they are chasing after the Scythe Chariots. That is not good. That's not a good matchup, I don't think. The Scythe Chariots probably won't get that many kills against the elephants. I mean, they haven't lost any yet, which is good. Bringing up the Syrian armored elephants, just in case. I guess there was going to be like an elephant v elephant showdown there. But again, the only side that they're really pushing on is this flank over here. And now we actually have the Praetorian Guard in melee. Actually, kind of. It looks like they are trying to throw their pila a bit. They're basically staring right at one another, though. How are the Scythe Chariots doing? So actually, they didn't take any damage, so I'm actually quite surprised at that, to be honest. And yeah, we've got like an elephant v elephant battle here. That's interesting. I don't know if elephants are a good counter to elephants themselves, but I think the Scythe Chariots at least kind of hung them up a bit, which is a good idea. Just elephants fighting elephants. Look, they're like actually fighting each other. That's sick. I never even thought to use elephants against elephants themselves. Uh-oh, they may have stopped being berserk now. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Because these two are going right for the Thorac pikemen here. This is actually going to be a pretty devastating charge, I believe. I mean, actually, not too bad, but this is going to cause a little bit of confusion among the ranks. And these auxiliary African elephants are already up to 132 kills. But yeah, they are out of control. They are just running amok right through. There we go. Yeah, getting some good kills there, running through the archers. Up to 155 kills now. Look at this Hellot. He's like going to challenge this elephant by himself. Wow, he actually survived. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is just causing mayhem in the defenders' lines. What are they down to? They're down to 4 elephants, though. The Syrian heavy war elephants still maintaining at 14. We've also got the Scythe Chariots going after this small legionary cohort unit. And yeah, just knocking them down, knocking them to the side. 296. Wow. So yeah, these elephants, when they went out of control, they actually did quite a bit of damage. But it's a bit of a stalemate now. I don't see too much. Oh, yes, yes. Let's get a good charge on these Roman Triarii. Yep. Oh my goodness. Look at all of the bodies. I mean, most of them are getting back up, so that's not too bad. Scythe Chariot's up to 38 kills, so maybe they aren't as heavy hitters as I remember, but I swear I had a couple of battles where they just absolutely mowed down troops. We've also got a unit of Romans, Roman Triarii just holding behind this road. And it looks like the Scythe Chariots are just going to leave the battlefield and allow the elephants to clean them up. And this is perfect for elephants. One unit at a time. Just shatter one unit and then move on to the next. You've got another Triarii unit there, which is ripe for the picking. I love elephant battles. Oh, just throwing him back. Yeah, they should be breaking. I mean, that's the Triarii morale that I was talking about before. In the face of elephants, they are holding strong. Down to 11, 10 men now, 9, 8. Yeah, and then he could go after this unit of Triarii as well. And there's not much defending the Roman ranks here. Looks like this auxiliary African elephant is kind of just chilling here. It might be bugged out. I'm not sure if they noticed that or not. We'll have to see what goes on, but looks like we do finally have the Praetorian Guard in melee against the Spartan hoplites. Or I believe maybe these are the heroes of Sparta. I can't remember. I think these are the heroes of Sparta. Or the Royal Spartans, that's it. Yes, triple gold chevron. I love seeing, like, the Helots just moving into melee, getting to the front of the line and being immediately cut down. But the Praetorians, it looks like they are kind of pushing through the gaps here. You can see the elephant has a little bit of an area of effect as well, so it is disrupting the Spartan formation just a bit. And, yeah, okay, so maybe he didn't notice that that one elephant was still alive and it was brought down by the Spartan hoplites. And how are we looking over here? It looks like the Egyptian archers did get in. Oh, they got in because they made a breach here. Okay, well done. But now the Scythe chariots are just having a lot of fun against these Egyptian archers. Come on, turn them around. Don't let them sit there and fire at you. That's not going to be good. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Say goodbye to those Egyptians. So they are up to 137 kills. Oh no, and some friendly fire by the Greek heavy onager here. I'm not sure if it's glitched out. It looks like it might be stuck on the bridge. But he did get a hole in the wall here, and now we've got the Ptolemaic cavalry moving in from behind. I'm interested to see where he's going. Let's follow him for a little bit here. He may actually be going for a charge on the enemy generals here. Kind of sneaking around from behind. Where are they going? I'm not sure if he's decided exactly where he's going to charge in yet. If we zoom in, looks like we do have some thorax swordsmen that are just moving into a shield wall. And here we go. Nice charge there. Held strong though. The thorax swordsmen, they weren't spread too thin. They were about 4 or 5 ranks deep, so they did manage to hold that charge. But now it looks like the attackers are losing a bit of their steam. They don't have too much more heavy infantry to take this city. And I think that the attackers might lose this to the defenders. 6 minutes left on the battlefield. And we've got the Silver Shield Pikemen, which is a general's unit here, pushing forwards against the remaining Egyptians on this flank. And the mercenary Cretan archers were trying to pull back, I think, to fire on this general. We do have another unit of Royal Spartans that are fresh, moving in to engage these mercenary Cretan archers. We've also got the Greek heavy onager crew here and the Galatian Royal Guard. But I think that is just about all the infantry engaged now. Yeah, the Romans finally pushing into this death trap here. We've got the thorax pikemen. And I don't think the Spartans brought any pikemen. I think they just brought more of the heavy infantry. The Spartan heavy infantry are better than the Seleucids, and the Seleucid pikemen are better than the Spartan pikemen. So it looks like they had good communication before the battle concerning what kind of armies they were going to bring. Now the Romans, they're just at such a disadvantage now fighting against the pikes. I mean, realistically speaking, the Roman formations were able to beat the Macedonian, like the Peltis phalanx, using the pikes. So clearly, in a realistic sense, the heavy infantry was better than the pikes. But for gameplay aspects, I would still say that pikemen do beat a Roman infantry unit in melee, basically. Even the Praetorian Guard here, you can see, is struggling against the pikes. We got some Nubian bowmen over here. Looks like they were cut down. But where did those elephants go? What do we got here? The Ajuma cavalry. And it looks like the Ptolemaic cavalry isn't going to be able to escape the jaws of the Spartan hoplites and thorax swordsmen. Yeah, we've got this unit over here that's kind of just left in melee. This might be a bit of a glitch, the legionary cohort. Not too sure. But yeah, it looks like they just are holding their own for the final 4 minutes of the battle. They're just like cheering at each other. They're not even attacking each other. They're just kind of sitting and staring at each other. And now we've got these scythe chariots coming back as well. Looks like, yeah, Ptolemaic cavalry has been shattered. And with 3 minutes left on the clock, it looks like we have the Spartan hoplites flanking around. And we've got ourselves a break here. Even armored legionaries, 105 men still left in the unit, but they have just lost their stomach to fight at this point. Yeah, and they're just going to get cut down on the pikemen. No mercy for the attacking forces here. Oh, man. Yeah, look at this. The Spartans actually just pushing them right into the pikes. That is brutal. No mercy. But yeah, okay, yeah, so it looks like this unit is wavering. I think the Roman player may not have noticed that this unit was even there. A huge hit by the scythe chariots. And just look at the carnage for these walls over here. Absolutely disgusting, the amount of dead bodies. And the scythe chariots, again, up to 166 kills. Well done there. And we just got this unit of Praetorian Guard that's left, I believe. And that is the final unit. So I think it's clear who has won the battle. So I think we'll just cut to the end load screen and show you guys the battle results. Alright, guys, so here... Oh. Alright, guys, so here is the end results for all 4 players. And we'll start with Noah.mck as the Romans here. So 326 by his African war elephants. That is awesome. The infantry, kind of a mixed bag. We got some armored legionaries here with 116 kills. 146, 119, 172 here. The Praetorian Guard getting really low kills, unfortunately. I would have expected them to do much better. But then we got the Triarii with 175. And then looking at General Spiffington with his African war elephants, 127 kills. Scythe chariots, 210, so well done there. And his archers doing really well. You can see the Egyptian infantry doing pretty poorly up on the walls. I think they were mostly meant just to get the towers to the walls, and then most of the heavy lifting was done by the Galatian Royal Guard. Looking at Swift Ash Wolf, his cavalry doing pretty solidly. He also had a Greek Scorpion that got 77 kills. I didn't actually even see that in the battle. But the Helot archers getting really solid kills there. Heroes of Sparta, 160. We got 204, 164, 164 by the Royal Spartans. And the Spartan hoplites, a bit of a mix. He did have a unit of Spartan pikemen, which got 462 kills. I think that was the pikeman unit that was holding at the one of the pathways down off the walls, just cutting the Romans down as they came off the wall. And then a couple more Spartan hoplites getting over 150 kills as well. And then Unclutch here, yeah, I think he got the most kills, followed by General Spiffington. About 457 on those elephants, and then 309 with the cavalry, 142 with the cataphracts, and 228 with the scythe chariots. Nice high kills with the archers, a lot of them over 100 kills there. The Royal Peltis also getting over 100 kills, Thorax Swordsman 220. And, the Thorax Pikeman getting 220. And again, a mixed bag on the Thorax Swordsman, depending on their positioning in the battle, but this one got 248 kills, which is excellent to see. So I think the highest kills was on that mercenary Syrian armored elephant. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's battle. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And as always, I will see you in the next one.